we coming through? Uh, it would seem like it. For some reason, it's not tapping, background here. Come on, OBS, I know you can do it. Or not. Hold up. Try and get this working. For some reason, it's not capping video right now. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so, I'm not really sure how to start this, honestly. Um, I more or less just have background up just to, have something to look at, I guess. But this is just going to be, a stream that I use to talk right now. So I've been thinking about it for a while, and I needed to get some things off my chest. Because if I went any longer, it probably would have been worse off. So, first things first, I think I have made the decision to step down from streaming a little bit. Just a little. I can't emphasize this enough, and I can't stress this enough. Don't misinterpret this as I'm quitting, because I'm not quitting in general, but I'm not going to be streaming as often as I did before. Sometimes when you have the option between taking care of work and your mental health just needs to come first. And the thing is, my mental health it has a very hard time finding a balance. And, well, the thing is, streaming has been a rocky road. It's had a lot of ups. It's had a lot of downs. But I can't necessarily say that it wasn't worth it, you know? It was a fun journey, and might even still be. The thing is, uh, it's just the way that I work, really. It's very hard to manage my stress, and I get stressed out about a lot of things, and some things are justified, some things not so much. Most things not so much. But it doesn't stop me. It never stops me. No matter what I do, it doesn't stop. So it constantly gets to the point where I get so stressed out that I break down, and those that have stuck around with me in the long term know that I have taken, like, extended breaks from streaming now and then, maybe 4, 5, maybe even more than that. Nah, even more than that. I've gotten into streaming at least maybe 2 times before and both times I ended up quitting. But I came back, and in this extended journey, I made more progress than I ever dreamt that I would. I got so many followers. I made it to the affiliate status. I got my first donation. I got bits. I got a raid. I got um I got subs. It was crazy. It was fun. And I've talked to so many people. I've met a lot of nice people. And to those people that have stuck around with me, I can't really thank you enough. It's just not possible for me anymore. I can't like I can't express in words how thankful I am for the people that have stuck around with me. Even though uh even though I do wish, like, it's hard for me to say because it makes me sound greedy and unthankful, but I like at the end of the day, I wish I had gotten further, I wish I had more. And I feel like that's just how every streamer feels starting out, really. Because just let me explain to you the thought process that I have, right? So the thing is, I don't want to be thinking about this stuff, but I am. It's just how my stress works. It always focuses on negative things. Just my thought process, it always focuses on negative things. It never really focuses on the good. Like, all of the good events that I've had, it's not like I can't acknowledge that they happened. I know that they happened. I loved that they happened. But when the good events are far and few between, most of my focus goes into the negative. And the thing is, um, I've made a lot of followers, right? At the point of this stream and the point of the video that I'm going to be putting up later out of this stream, I have like 28 followers away from 200. And I was really happy with that. I was happy with that number. I had planned a giveaway at 200, something special, you know? I had a lot of ambition. I was really excited. I never thought I'd make it this far. But at the end of the day, it just doesn't seem like it's happening, you know? And what sells me over, really, is that there's so many inconsistent ups and more consistent downs with streaming for me right now. The ups are great. When the ups happen, it's a great day. Either an active stream or a sub or more followers than usual, more viewers than usual, someone's talking to me in chat. Any one of those things can make a really great day for me. But those days don't happen often. They really don't. And most people would tell me the same thing. It's just that, all streamers start out small. All streamers start out, with inconsistent days and some days that are better than others, and I get that. I can acknowledge that. That's one thing I can acknowledge. I may be jumping the gun on this one, but my mental health is not jumping the gun. Uh, so the thing is, when it comes to streaming, I've had a great time. I can't lie and say that it hasn't been incredible. There's been so many good streams and good days. I legitimately thought that it would work out, and it still could. It could, but I'm torn between so many things that I think, I need to talk about and discuss. Um, Things have gone downwards. They've gone downhill, really. When Before I got into streaming, I felt very alone. I have a group of maybe about 6 friends right now, and hardly any of them are on often. And it's getting I just seem to have less company as time goes on. But with my autism and me finding it very hard to be social, it's pretty much impossible for me to make new friends. It's not entirely impossible, but it's incredibly difficult. Um, so I thought getting into streaming again, I would commit to this decision and do my best to make more friends, along with building a community and, building up a following. It sounded like a great time. And while I did manage some of those things, um, the thing is, when a little while back, uh, when I'd say sometime after my last Spooktober, or I should say my first Spooktober on Twitch, so last year, I got the most attention that I probably ever have. Um, and I had, a bunch of people in my Discord server. I had regulars that showed up to my stream to talk to me and watch me play, and a lot of good stuff. It was a great time back then. But as time has gone on, I've lost those friends. That's that's the harsh truth of it, really. People that used to show up often don't anymore. Some people that said they would stay with me, they left. Some people that I thought were my friends also left. That's just the harsh reality of it. And it's part of the reason why I'm afraid to make friends. Sometimes people just lose interest. They don't stick around. And, when that happens, especially when they don't tell you when they're leaving, it feels like you're just betrayed. Especially in my view, it feels like I wasn't good enough and that they didn't really see me as a true friend, but just kind of just as a source of entertainment. And when that entertainment was lost, they just left without a word. And that's just how it is for some people, I guess. Uh, at the end of the day, I'm not necessarily blaming anybody for this decision I'm making. No, that's not the message I want to get across. It's the thing is, what I used to have and what I used to hold on to, the great times that I used to have, uh, feel like they're gone, really. Um, and the thing is, when we had those times when I had regulars that showed up all the time, it was probably a peak when I streamed. It was a great time, and I thoroughly enjoyed those times and savored every second of it. But as time's gone on, uh, it doesn't really happen anymore. It doesn't, it doesn't happen like at all. Uh, that most of my streams now are inactive. My Discord server is pretty much inactive. I want to say dead, but it's not dead. There are some people that still talk, a couple in mind. But yeah, it's not what it used to be anymore. Uh, and my thought process is that instead of making progress, I made progress and then lost progress when it comes to streaming. Uh, and in my shoes, that was acknowledging that was a heavy blow to morale. To be straightforward about it, I was upset about it. Um, and the problem with my thought process and how I work is that my thoughts will constantly dwell on these things despite knowing in my heart that it might not be permanent. There could be another peak, there could be that brighter end, that just the light at the end of the tunnel, as they would call it. I could be going through a dark age, but there could be, a bright one ahead. But with the with the light not in sight, it's hard for me to keep going, uh because I just can't see my way forward. So the point of this is to say um that it's been rough for me over the past couple weeks. Uh, I took I took pretty much I think most of last month off streaming, thinking about this and thinking about like what would happen if I continued to fail. Because uh by all intents and purposes, when a stream is inactive, when a server is inactive, when nothing happens, I fail. That's just the harsh truth of it, the harsh reality. And it's gotten to the point where my thoughts dwell on these failures so wearily often that it's draining my mental health. And I've gotten to the point before where I have been unfeeling, where I couldn't feel like any emotion at all. I felt very depressed. I felt very sad, and it's gotten to those days. It really has. With my stress working the way it does, it just keeps building and building and building until it overflows and I break down. It doesn't go away. That's just how I've always worked. School was a nightmare because of it. I would always, go in and, at maybe like the first 2 semesters, I could get straight A's, and then that stress would keep building, and boom, I'd break down and I would completely fail the last two. Uh, and that's that's just how I've always worked. So when it comes to streaming, it's worked the same way. Every time I got close to breaking down, I took time off because that was the right call to make. But when so little good has been happening lately, my thoughts are only dwelling on the negatives, and that's just, piling up my stress. And, at this point, if it keeps going, then I'm just going to keep breaking down. And then I'm never going to be able to stream. So the way I work is just not fit for the working world. It's just not. If I'm to work, it has to be something within my comfort zone. And trust me, gaming and streaming, it's within my comfort zone. It's just that the constant failures, the how much you have to fight to climb your way up is not an easy road. And those constant failures are draining. Really, they are. Every popular streamer will probably tell you the same thing. Their road to start was not easy. It it probably took blood, sweat, and tears for some streamers to get where they are now. So, um, this isn't really scripted or anything. This is just kind of what I have on my mind and what I am venting to this. So, um, sometimes I have to think of how to approach things and what to say exactly. So, it is a bit upsetting that my mental state has come to this point where I need to choose between two halves of myself, really. Whether if I want to keep working and break or prioritize my mental health and stop. So here's the thing. When some people here and some people that will probably be watching this in the future, most of you probably don't know that I write stories. I'm looking to be an author one day, and one of my biggest fears with that was that uh is that it wouldn't work out, right? Because like I thought maybe my lack of like perfect skill would not see me through on that career, but I'm still trying, you know? I'm still working on stuff that is, that I want to get published. And, I've been working on my story universe for, I'd say, more than 15 years of my life. And I'm 23, almost 24. So, uh, it has a lot of work put into it. And it would be a shame and kind of sad if I didn't try to utilize what talent I think I have, or if I even failed in that regard when I did try, But I still want to try. Uh, so the thing is, I think at this point, I need to stick to something that I don't need to be too consistent on. When it comes to streaming, I am convinced, or I've always been convinced, that in order to maintain uh what I've worked for, I need to do my best to remain as consistent as possible. Uh and really that's it. It's true and it's not at the same time. Because really what I was trying to maintain was a what I saw as like a false follower count. Some people don't come back. Or some people just watch VODs, you know? Some people just drop you a follow and never come back. That's just how Twitch is. That's just how it be. Um, so I feel like, out of the 182 followers that I have right now, not, I don't think even 10% or even 5% of that number watches what I make or comes back. That's just sad to me. It's kind of like a big number that gives false hope. At the end of the day, what I looked for was more reliable sources, I guess. Regulars, to be truthful. Because regulars are what make streaming worth it. They are what make it fun. See, the interaction is probably the most fun part of streaming. But when there's no interaction, you're not really having any fun. So when it comes to the point where I'm not having any fun, it makes me wonder why I'm trying at all. So it seems like a dumb way to put it because I know what I'm working for, but at the same time, I, you know, I've failed so many times, it makes me wonder if that light at the end of the tunnel is even a possibility for me anymore. Because the way I've seen it is that having that peak that I talked about, and then pretty much losing everything that I had worked for, all my regulars, all my friends, everything. Just losing all of that was disheartening and discouraging. It felt like everything that I had worked for just disappeared in a puff of smoke, and I don't know why. Um, and this comes off as kind of like a sad rant, really. Like, the whole life is unfair, kind of talk. But it's not necessarily what I'm trying to get across. It's just kind of my explanation as to why I feel the way I feel and why I'm making the decisions I'm making. So, getting back on track with what I was saying before, I'm writing and I want to become an author and hopefully succeed in that field. I wanted to also stream as kind of like, something more fun, I guess, because it's a little hard for me to explain, but I don't enjoy writing. I don't enjoy reading even. But I want to get my stories out there. So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot and I've gotten a lot better at writing. But it's the thing is, I don't think I will enjoy writing as much as I've always enjoyed gaming. So that's why I got into streaming. If one career fails, another might succeed, Or if I succeeded in streaming, then, maybe I could shout out my stories and succeed in both. It seemed like, a win-win. I had a plan, I had ambition, but really, ambition kills people. Uh, when you have ambition, you only open yourself up to being more disappointed when those ambitions aren't realized. I want that to come off as a warning to some people that are really looking forward to something that might never come. Uh, And I don't think ambition is totally bad. I just think my ambitions were bad. I think I looked forward to something that, you know, was a long time off, and I'm jumping the gun, as a lot of people might think, and just throwing in the towel when really I should be committing to it more. Just persevere through it. And I agree with them. See, even though my mind may be stuck only on the negative, it's not like I can't acknowledge the mistakes that I make. It's not like I can't acknowledge the truth, right? I can't, not acknowledge. I can acknowledge that the decision that I'm making to step down a bit is wrong. It's wrong, but at the same time it's right, and it's kind of what I need to do. And I believe that, the people that would support me, that know that my mental health is a challenging thing to balance along with my stress, they would probably also say that I should take a step back. It's just not necessarily good for me if I keep committing despite the problems that it's causing me right now. So I think what I'm going to do now is focus more on my writing career, since it's something I can work on whenever I want and not necessarily have to be consistent about it. Um, but I don't want this to seem like a goodbye either. I still plan on streaming. I still plan on doing stuff, you know? I've worked hard for affiliate status. I've worked hard for people that have been kind enough to throw a sub at me or throw a donation even. I've worked hard for that stuff, especially the way my stress works. I've worked myself to death to get to where I am now. But with the mental state that I have, where I am right now is it's kind of like a minefield of emotions. I step one place, I just blow up sad. And I think when it gets to that point, I need to step down and realize that I cannot proceed the way I am right now. So it's been hard for me, really, because like I've been inconsistent on my YouTube channel because I just forget and don't really feel like uploading, and honestly, most of that is because I have archives, I have VODs to upload, but I've been having the disk issue on my PC for a while, where for some reason the active time on my disk for Windows just spikes to 100 and stays that way for a few minutes, and my computer just operates like a sloth and doesn't like to do anything or respond to anything for a few minutes. And I have a new SSD still waiting upstairs to be installed, but I am still my dad is looking for stuff uh, to transfer data so I can replace this old hard drive. Hopefully this is a old hard drive issue, and not something I have installed on my hard drive that's causing the problem. Which I don't think it is, because I've defragged it, I've run virus scans, and there hasn't been anything showing up, so I'm just hoping that it's an old hard drive issue. But anyway, back on track. I've been inactive, and I've felt really bad about it, but I just I don't really record gameplay anymore. I hardly stream a lot of stuff, and most of that is because that I don't really have a lot that I play by myself in general. Most of the time when I stream, I'm by myself, right? And right now, there's not really a lot of games that I stream by myself or play by myself. There's hardly anything, really. It's kind of gotten to the point where most of the games I could play by myself, I have played so much that they've grown dull by myself. Uh, so yeah, it's like, how am I going to stream when I don't enjoy any of the things I play right now? And I enjoy Dead by Daylight, but the thing is, with this new update, queue times have gotten really bad. They've gotten terrible for me. I don't have the patience to sit there for like 5+ minutes looking for a match that might last like 20-30 minutes. I just don't. Before, when I found matches really quickly, it was nice, you know? It was a lot more fun that way. But I hardly have anything to say in the downtime, so I get bored very quickly when queue times are long. And it makes me end streams faster than I usually would. Because I just get bored. I don't feel like going any further. That's how my last couple, I think, of Dead by Daylight streams have went. They just, you know, the queue times were dumb, and I just got bored. And who knows, maybe when the queue times get better for Killer, I'll come back and I'll stream Dead by Daylight again. But I just, the way it is now, it's just kind of gotten boring because of the queue times alone. And, well, how do I put this? I don't necessarily record gameplay anymore for my YouTube channel because, well, there's not really a lot I feel like recording. Sometimes I could get into a playthrough and never finish it because I just get bored of the game that I'm playing and never go back to it. That's just how it is sometimes. I've done that a few times now. And, I'm sorry. I was taking a drink. My, throat's getting dry and stuff, talking this much. Anyway, at the end of the day, it's just a problem of me being bored and tired and having no ideas of what to do going forward. That's just how it is. When I got into streaming, Dead by Daylight was great. It was fun, but it wasn't something I wanted to be known for, you know? I don't want to be known as a Dead by Daylight streamer. But if I only stream Dead by Daylight, which is all I really felt like doing, I know I would be labeled as such. Uh, and, you know, if that happened, then, well, I would just be upset if I lost some of the following that I've gained from streaming Dead by Daylight when I decided to stream something else. That's a fear that every YouTuber has, really, that, they don't want to be known for one specific game, so they try to stream multiple stuff. Uh, but I don't really have that luxury because I have nothing else to play. I don't really know what else to play, really. So I stream mostly Dead by Daylight because it's fun. I've gotten the most attention from it, but it's not what I wanted to be known for. So when the game's gotten dull because of the killer queue times for me, and I've just grown bored of it, then all that's left is nothing. I have nothing else I want to stream. It's a slippery slope, to say the least. It's not easy streaming when you have no ideas of what to do. Um, and I had a lot to plan. I had my birthday coming up. I had Spooktober that I had plans for. Uh, but I don't have anything else for the norm. So at the end of the day, I just, got tired of it, I suppose. I didn't want to stream something I'm bored of at the moment. I think it's just I gotta take a step back and just take that break. And I did. But, with the queue times being the way it is, I don't really feel like coming back, and I have nothing else to stream. So what's left? Well, I tried to get back into my Pokemon Nuzlocke, and well, though that has worked in the past, it did not work when I went back to it. And, that's fair, it's fine, but it just still kind of hit morale a bit to me. I don't really have a lot of ideas uh, of things to play, but when something that I stream is inactive, I don't really feel like going back to it. Because it's not fun. It's not fun playing something that I don't play on the norm and enjoy when I get nothing out of it. It's kind of like if I am bored with Dead by Daylight and I force myself to play it and get no attention from it, it's even less fun than the no fun that I normally have with it. It's kind of like that kind of thing. You never force yourself to do anything. Any streamer would tell you that. You shouldn't force yourself to play something you don't want to. Certainly not for an audience either. It's just not worth it. And I agree. That's how I've operated for a long time. I didn't want to stream, you know, specifically Dead by Daylight for an audience. I just wanted to play what I wanted to. But the thing is, that's easier said than done for me because I already don't have a lot of games that I actually play and enjoy. So I don't have the luxury of playing what I want to play because I don't have anything that I want to play. Uh, Especially, when I'm alone. I play stuff with friends, but more often than not, when I stream, I have no one on. So it's kind of lonely, I guess. It's lonely and it's boring, and, you know, there's not a lot of power that I have to change these things. And I guess the careers that I've wanted to pursue are both ironic for the way I operate. As an autistic guy, someone that has a lot of trouble being social and making friends, both careers that I have tried and set out to achieve are dependent on people. Isn't that ironic? Streaming is solely dependent on people watching you, on people supporting you, and wanting to be an author one day, that's of course dependent on people being interested in my content, that read my content and consistently buy my content. Both careers are something that's dependent on people, and I can hardly, interact with people because of my social disorder. So I guess my life is just a bunch of ironies and, you know, hypocrisies and just dumb stuff. Uh, it's just a lot of complex things coming together to hit me all at once. Uh, but the way things are proceeding now, I think I'm going to focus more on writing and taking a back seat for streaming. I'm not giving up on it. I'm not quitting streaming in general. Um, I'll probably come back, maybe stream it once, maybe a couple times a month, something like that. Something to keep me consistent, I guess. As far as I'm aware, as long as I stream like somewhat decently, uh, like within a year's time, I believe I won't lose my affiliate status, which gives some hope for coming back and maybe, uh, you know, getting back on track. So I'm not quitting. Sorry about that. I'm not quitting. I'm just getting my priorities straight and prioritizing more towards my mental health and my stress than trying to remain consistent for something that I've been failing at so far. Um, of course, my Discord server is still going to be open. I'm still going to interact with the people that still support me. I'm still going to stream every now and then. Uh, but for now, I don't think I can remain consistent anymore because of the stress that's been plaguing me for a while and refuses to leave. So I need to get these priorities straight and stop, you know, overworking myself, I suppose, for the time being. Uh, I'm going to focus on my writing. I'm going to upload the VODs that I have on my storage still. Uh, I'm going to upload this stream to my YouTube channel later for those people that weren't able to catch my stream and see the explanation of what's going on. I will probably be canceling this year's Spooktober since I can't really remain consistent anymore. I still have Dead by Daylight keys to give away. So if you're interested, in the Dead by Daylight key giveaway still. I guess either DM me or join my Discord server and, tag me there or something like that. Uh, I'll figure something out. I don't know what I'm going to do for it exactly, but I still have 2 keys for Dead by Daylight that I need to give away, and me quitting, not quitting, but me not doing this consistently, and, I had planned to do it at 200 followers, but if I'm not going to get that far, I just need to give them away. So if you're interested, I guess I'll just, give them away to those who ask first. Um, they're 2 keys for Dead by Daylight on Steam, so if you're interested, just holler at me, I guess. Um, but for the time being, I think I need to prioritize my health and step down for now and stream when I feel like it instead of maintaining consistency as I've prioritized in the past. Um, so, when I feel like streaming again, I'll come back and I'll do it. Maybe it'll just be like 1 day a month or a couple, or maybe once every 2 months, you know. So it'll still happen. It just won't be as much as I have before. And I feel like this isn't the correct decision to be making, but it's something that I just need to do. I feel the need to make this decision. Um, because it's gotten to the point where my stress is just not in a good state for me to keep going. So, I hope this sheds some light on things. If you're still interested uh, in the content that I make, either by my, I post some short stories on my Discord server from time to time. You could maybe join up for that. Um, if you're interested in seeing a stream by me in the future, you could, still follow me. Uh, this isn't goodbye, and I still plan on interacting with everyone. But for the time being, I am going to step down from streaming specifically. Uh, so for now, this is it's kind of a somber note to just end on. Really, it's not a permanent end. It's just sudden. That's all I can really say about it. It's just a sudden decision that I had to make. And it kind of seems like it's coming out of nowhere, but um I've talked about it for a while. It I talked to the friends that I have and those that have stuck around and supported me. Uh every time I break down, every time I'm upset, every time I've needed to take an extended break from streaming, everyone always said that at the end of the day, the decision is mine. And I think that this decision is one that I need to make because I keep reaching those states. I keep getting upset. I keep needing extended breaks. I keep getting stressed out. And the fact that I keep reaching those states, I think it's about that time where I just need to step down and prioritize what I want to do rather than what I think might work. So, uh, we're approaching an hour of me explaining what's going on, so let me wrap things up. I'm going to reiterate one more time that this is not goodbye forever. I still plan on streaming. I still plan on uploading stuff to my YouTube channel. I'm not sure what. It really just, you know, depends on what's going on, what I feel like doing. I still plan on writing. That's probably going to be my main focus now. Uh, I still plan on uploading some short stories to my Discord server. I still plan on interacting with everyone that, is interested in me and my content. And I still plan on giving away these 2 keys for Dead by Daylight. So if you're still interested in all that stuff, I'm not going anywhere. I just want that to be known. If you're still interested in my content, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not going to be as consistent as I once was. And that's pretty much that's all she wrote. Really. That's all I have to say. So with that being said, I'm sorry this came so suddenly, seemingly without warning. But it was something that I needed to get off my chest desperately so. And hopefully, anybody who's watching this, and anybody who's watching this in the future, uh, can understand the decision that I'm making and might even stick around with me despite the decision that I have to make. I want to thank everyone who has stayed with me for this long and those that will continue to support me if you do. Goodbye, everyone. I'll see you again sometime soon.